Okay, welcome to week. Well, this weekend's video, it's not this weekend's video because we've done it videos.
Welcome to another video.
Welcome to another video. Welcome to this video.
That's Brett.
I can never think of the bloody word.
What word?
Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Today's video is going to be a quick collaboration between Mud Dick here, Mud Duck.
Very nasty.
As per the shirt. As we're always looking for content, we had a bit of an idea. We're away camping and we're up towards Barrington type areas. And both of us have bought our generators. Steve's got the Honda EU2.1. I've got the Yamaha 2400. I can't tell you the model number. There you go, EF2400iS. So we figured what we could do, pull them out and just go through some tests.
So once again, Brett's compensating. His is bigger than mine.
Bit of a comparison video. It's not going to be anything scientific, it's just going to be pull them out, we're just going to test, see what they're like to start up for the first time. Either of these have been ran for quite a while, we've filled both of them up. Noise is an obvious one, and we're going to hook them up to our caravans and just charge our batteries. So anything else we can think of along the way, we'll do a comparison there as well. But that's it, we're going to fire them up, give you a look, let you have a listen.
And if we can't think of shit, it's going to be a short video.
It'll be a real short video. Now one thing I probably should have said is both of these are inverter generators. So these are quite capable of powering all of your sensitive electrical equipment, so you can do laptops, all that sort of stuff. Generally as a rule, these are used for charging batteries and that sort of stuff, which they're obviously capable of. But you can run air cons, fridges, you name it, you can pretty much run it with either one of these guys. Plenty of power, and they're plenty capable too. Do you want to have your first crack? Start off, Steve is going to try and fire his up. We're just going to see what it takes to get him going.
I've previously opened the air valve on the fuel cap because I've forgotten to do that before and it switches off after a while. We get it on. I've got to remember how to do it myself.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm not even sure it's got a bloody choke.
That's right, it's not a steel chainsaw, mate, you'll be right.
This is where the electrics are bound to have the advantage. Probably won't start first go like they say they should.
No, never do. I think you're off, on buttons in, yeah.
That's the eco-throttle light one.
Oh, is it? Okay. Have you got an on-off button anywhere? No?
Yeah, pretty all this.
Oh, okay, alright.
Like I said, Juddy, it's been a while, so I can't even remember how it all starts. I think I know it's got a choke.
Oh, there you go.
Good more choking might start. So that wasn't really that bad. It probably would have started quicker if I knew what I was doing.
Yeah, no comment. Now I can tell you straight away yours is quieter than mine. I got mine second hand, and when I got it I had to make some adjustments to the carby to get it to actually continue to run. It probably needs service. So I've got mine running a little bit hotter on idle than it may do as standard. Now keep in mind I haven't heard one of these other than mine, so I'm not real sure whether, that's Stephen in the background, I'm not sure whether this is running louder than a standard or it's about the same, but you know, if you've got one of these and you hear this one running, let me know whether it sounds the same as yours.
That was the eco mode on and off, why not louder?
Sorry, can you switch the eco mode off again?
Eco on, eco off.
Okay, that's probably about the same.
That's probably close to what it sounds like loaded up too.
Yep. Ironically, mine, I'll show you later on, when I load mine up, it tends to get quieter.
Okay.
Because I think again I've got it running a bit hot when it's on idle.
I'll switch mine off and let yours make a noise. So we might run them side by side.
You can definitely see the Yamaha is a bit bigger. I don't know what they are weight wise, but I'll get some stats and put it up on the screen there if you're looking at those.
32 kilos dry.
What do you think that is?
Well, that's bulkier.
More?
Probably
about
weighs
the same?
Yeah, maybe same.
Okay, that's interesting. Again, put the stats up on the screen, you'll be able to have a look at those. Let's give this old girl a fire up. This one's probably been fired up 2 weeks ago or something like that, so it does get a run every now and then when I think of it. Put a
12 months away go for this one, guys. Literally 12 months.
Again, same as Stephen, just trying to remember all the buttons.
I think we'd use them more, eh?
Well, we should, yes. Got it on, yeah.
Feel it better.
Nearly, yeah.
Has it got a choke?
It doesn't, it's just popped in.
We're both so docile. I've
got it on automatic choke that turns itself off. Not meant to be the way it is, but it just slides back in as it starts. How do you think about that noise-wise?
That's not too bad, is it? Has that got an eco mode or not?
No, it is what it is. The exhaust is on this side, and that got noisier when you turn that way. Choke again. Is that eco on or off? Okay, I think they're comparable. I think mine's probably a bit noisy. You can hear it's running a bit fast.
I'd suggest yours is a bit louder.
Yep, I think so. I think I can hear mine over yours.
Over mine, standing this side of it.
Okay, yep.
But certainly an eco mode, yours is louder.
So this is from roughly a nearby campsite, so you can hear the noise. Keep in mind we've got 2 generators running over there.
This is called a load, a fan heater.
So Steve's is currently on eco mode. You can hear that's much quieter than the Yamaha. There's no comparison between eco mode and the Yamaha running. So that's Honda's quietest mode, I suppose. Steve's about to put a load on it.
It's a little Mistral fan heater.
1200 watt, something thereabouts.
Something like that. What is it? 2000 watt.
2000 watt. All right, so 2000 watt little fan heater. So that's going to be
about what this is rated for.
That's right. It's going to be a real good load for this. Put a proper load on it, and we'll hear what they sound like running. So Steve, I've turned the Yamaha off. So he's going to plug that in. We'll listen to the noise.
That's the fan heater on flat out, so I'll be drawing as much power as we can.
Effectively at nearby camp. This is Steve's camp, the other side of the road. Probably a reasonable distance that you'd expect for someone to be camping, provided they don't camp on your doorstep, which some people do. Bit of advice, if somebody's camped there, move away, give them some space. So that's the Honda running under load with the heater fan running over there. Anyway, all right, we'll get a bit closer and we'll kick off the Yamaha.
Load off?
Yeah, mate. That quiets down good, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, so that's the Yamaha on idle. Again, probably run a little bit hot, I'm not really sure. Down a comment, let me know.
The safety switch needs to go up flat.
See how I reckon it gets a little bit quieter? Yeah.
I would suggest that's quite acceptable.
Okay, and again, we're over at Steve's camp, so about the same distance we were with the Honda, etc., or when we had them both running, and that's the Yamaha running under load. So that's probably about all we can do, really. Might give you a quick run around, just a quick look at the controls on the front, close-up look at each of the generators.
Oh, I just took mine back in the shade.
Oh, that's right. We'll go and have a look at Steve's. He's put his back in the shade. But you can see clearly there's a size difference between them. I think it's probably almost half the size again, maybe.
I know I'd rather carry mine around.
Absolutely. The challenge with the Yamaha, I've been really happy with it. Hasn't had a lot of service. I have used it at home to run fridges and freezers and stuff. Same as Steve with his Honda when there's been power outages. That's where these come real handy. And I've ran air cons and all that sort of stuff at home. Size-wise, it's a bit of a pain to carry. I definitely would be preferring to carry the Honda over that. Keep in mind this is a 2.4 versus a Honda 2. The reason I grabbed the Yamaha was on reviewing information on forums and stuff. I wanted to run a small portable aircon. And some of the information I've seen suggested that the 2 kilowatt Honda might struggle, where the extra 0.4 would definitely handle, you know, any aircon that you want to throw at it. In retrospect, from what I've used it for, you know, it's great for running freezers and stuff like that. I think I'm going to pick myself up a little Honda 1 because I think that'd just be super handy. That would be something to have, you know, in the car. It's small, it's portable. I don't think noise-wise probably make too much difference. But
they're a little tiny bit quieter than the 2.
Yeah, just to be able to have it somewhere. One thing I didn't miss was when I had this in the car, driving it backwards and forwards to work, when I was prepared to come camping, I could smell the fuel in the car every time I got in it. So I haven't missed that since I went over to battery-powered chainsaws.
Mind you, with the new Hondas apparently, which are now 2.2s,
are they? Okay.
They will run most air conditioning, modern air conditioning.
Pretty much anything, yeah.
Older stuff maybe not.
Yeah.
But they assure me with a 2.2 you can run any modern air conditioner in any modern caravan.
Yeah, and because a lot of your new air conditioners are soft start as well,
yeah.
So they don't have that big load that they put onto the generators on startup. which is often the case where the little bit bigger comes in handy. But if you don't have that, requirement,
No big
you
deal.
probably wouldn't have any issues just with the 2, I wouldn't imagine.
No.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to run mine today, purely charged battery, says it hasn't been run for 12 months. My solar's doing the job, don't need to, but what the hell, it's here.
And I'm going to do the same now. Look, I'm going to hook that up, I'm going to plug it in the caravan. No, I don't have an RCD, but we're not going to be here at the vans. I'll plug it in. I'm not going to go back in the van once I've connected it up. There's no concerns from a safety perspective there. I put a battery charger on as well. Again, look, we bought them, we've just loaded them up with fuel. We might as well use the mongrels. We're getting plenty of solar, the pair of us.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, which is good. We're about to take the cars for a drive, about to go for a sticky beak. So we're just going to leave these run, and we'll see if they're still here. We are going to chain them up before we leave camp, because there's going to be nobody around. Yes, I'm going to do that now too. Neither of us have any particular expertise in generators. These just happen to be the 2 we have, which makes for a nice comparo. Obviously, I think these are the ones that people will be looking at, the Honda EU2 and the Yamaha EF2400. And there are a few videos on YouTube that you can have a look at these. It'll give you a bit more look at the detail. If I can find one of those, I'll put in a link down in the description and you'll be able to go and check those out. Now, this is heavy. I will put the stats up on the screen. It's certainly liftable by one person. It is definitely a knee lift. So you're picking it up like that. Again, if you're a little bit older, you're not doing that. You're just not. So maybe have a look at the Honda. Maybe look at the smaller Honda. I haven't seen the size of the 2.2. I imagine it's probably going to be similar to Steve's 2. But at home, I don't lift that. That sits on a little wheelie trolley that I got from Bunnings for about 20 bucks or something. And that's how I get it around. I wheel that out to the car. I lift it up into the car, put it in. I wheel it out of the shed or wheel it to wherever it needs to be used. I'm not picking that thing up and carting it around. Or if I am picking it up and carting it around, I'm doing it as minimally as possible. I don't like picking it up. It's heavy. It's just a little bit awkward. It's right out front of you. You know, and there's a chance you might have a bit of a mishap. Certainly doable, but I don't like it, and I prefer to work smart rather than work hard. Okay, so your controls are pretty much going to be fairly similar. This is your fuel tank here, on and off. When I run mine, or when I have finished running mine, I will turn that fuel tap off and just let it run, and that will use the last of the fuel that's in the line. So if you're going to store this, that's a good idea. Turn your fuel off and just let it run, and it'll cut out obviously when it runs out of fuel. This is your choke here. You'll see when I start mine, my choke just slowly goes back in. Keeping in mind second hand unit, this is the start, and it is a soft start, you can see there. So it's you know, an easy pull sort of starter on that. Typically very, very easy to start. On off switch, so if something goes on, you can come over and turn it off. Clearly you need to turn that on to get it going. Low oil light, overload light here, and it will cut off. And if it switches itself off or goes into protection mode, you can reset that there. There is a 12 volt output. I don't have the lead, it didn't come with this. This is a 12 volt 8 amp, so you could technically charge batteries off that. And certainly, so it says, keep it in mind, it is not regulated, it is 12 volt 8 amps out. So you will have to monitor your batteries, but in emergency they could certainly be used. There's a ground, I don't think anybody uses those. Your two 240 volt outputs, and this is for the twin tech. So this is if you wanted to link a pair of these. Again, don't have the cables for it. Just down the bottom, there's your oil filler. One thing you will notice, again, keep in mind this is second hand, I have put some putty around the outside here and here. This was vibrating against the outside here, and that was just annoying me, so I stuck some putty in there, and that stops that vibrations. A couple of really good handles. These are probably my favourite part of this. Great for locking it down, great for picking it up. Two handles are solid as. Obviously you got your exhaust, etc., and I can see there's a little bit heat coming off this still. And the rear of it is uneventful. I do have a little fuel tank gauge, which previously I didn't think worked because I hadn't been putting too much fuel in it, just a litre here, a litre there, just to give it a run. But that seems to be working now. It is showing full, albeit the tank is not quite full. Not close enough. Obviously this is just a filler, and it does have a little filter in there as well. Okay, I'm just going to take you through the startup process on this. From cold, turn your fuel on.
It's not cold.
Well, it's not cold, but this is the process from cold. You would move your dog out of the way.
You get your dog in to supervise.
Pull out your choke.
He's the boss.
Flick it to on, and then just give it a... and away you go. And then again, just flick the off switch to turn it off. You can turn the fuel tap off and then just let it run out, which is what I like to do again before I store it. So it's got no fuel in the lines. Those handles, excellent for security as well. You can put a bike chain or some sort of security chain through it. I've just got that through the wheel of the caravan. It's not going anywhere. Now, it's not going to be much of a load, but give it something to do. just going to do its thing. What I might do is go and disconnect the solar panels and just let the charger do its thing. So the Honda is a lot more portable versus the Yamaha. Powered some portable air conditioners. It's never powered a roof one, but it would be more than capable of the 2.4 kilowatts. I just want that little bit of an overhead. All it's going to be needed for is when it's something like this, where there's lots and lots of trees around and I can't get enough solar, albeit that we haven't had any issues here with solar. I am going to put the larger panels on top of the caravan, so instead of having around about the 370 watts, I'm going to be closer to 500. Around about 470 I think it will be, but we've been here for 3 days now and the solar has kept up, albeit that we wanted to run the generators because we bought them. So there's it guys, that is all we've got for this one. We just knocked up this video whilst we were away camping, whilst we had both of those generators in the same location. We thought it was a good opportunity to put something together. It's not overly technical obviously, but both of these units are very popular with caravanners and campers who are interested in running microwaves and that sort of stuff. They're big Jennies and they run a lot of stuff, very, very capable. But I guess the question you need to ask yourself is, do you need one that big? I'll be checking out the Honda one because it's going to be a lot more packable. In the likelihood that I'm going to need it, which is rarely, I'll be able to pack that away somewhere. It won't take up that much space rather than having to cart the big 2.4 Yamaha around. Now I have recently added a 200 watt solar panel folding set to the kit to go with the caravan. You'll see the review of that there if you're interested. I'm not going to need to carry this generator around very often at all. It's only going to be in extreme situations. This is winter, so we took it along just in case, but obviously not really needed. Thanks guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.